It's a matter of can he give them the confidence and the belief. Heskey the target. The ball beat both he and Watson. Forsell then looked as though he was being held by Curtis Davies. Davies claims exactly the opposite. Well, both had a hold of each other, in truth. Wall work. Camera. Greening. Only Kevin Campbell in the centre. Greening has made his way there, and the numbers are arriving. But Diamansi Camara has missed an absolute sitter. The Senegal international causes all of his teammates to bury their heads in their hands. Camara trying to make amends. Great pace shown. It's a goal kick. Martin Taylor did enough to put him off. Diamansi Camara's got just the 2 goals for West Bromwich Albion this season, but he's had 2 good chances to break the deadlock. Nobody will get a better chance than that all day. The second one was all about his pace. Martin Taylor, with a sliding challenge, made sure that the finish was made all the more difficult. Camara touched onto Campbell, off the post and off the line. Martin Taylor denies Kozak. Latka done. Birmingham City's goal is leading a charmed life, and it's the West Bromwich Albion frontmen who've been guilty of missing the best chances of the game so far. First Camara, now Campbell, and then Kozak denied. Martin Taylor had got back as cover in just the right place at the right time. Heskey. Davies being caused a problem by Mikhail Forsell, who goes down, and it's a penalty for Birmingham City. It's Forsell all over the back of Davies, who tries to recover. He missed the ball completely and took Forsell around the middle. I think that's a good spot by the referee. Mikhail Forsell with the chance to give Birmingham City first blood. Coolly converted. 4 minutes of the second half played, and Birmingham City take the lead through Forsell scoring his 7th goal of the season, only his 2nd in the Premiership. It's the most important by a long, long way. You'll feel a little easier with how the day is going. He will not. Inamoto. Greening. Decent cross. Miskicked. Finally over the top because of Stan Lazaridis' dutiful defending. But what an anxious moment that was for Birmingham. Great ball from Greening. Martin Taylor very nearly turned that one into his own net. And now here's Diamansi Camara. That miss in the first half will be weighing even heavier on his shoulders now, but he's done well to find Kozak here. How much time does he want? Inamoto! Super stop from Mike Taylor. Kozak took his time, picked out the run of the Japanese star. It's a brilliant reaction save. Brian Robson likes the way his side have got themselves revived again since going a goal down. Keep on going is the message from the Albion boss. Latka let it run. Well, that was risky in the extreme. Camara was lurking just behind him. Martin Latka got away with it, and away goes Johnson. Heskey, the ball stayed in for him, and flashes across the face. Forsell not quite close enough to apply the finish. And no goal for Kevin Campbell today. My word, did he have a good chance in the first half. Consoling word from the management team. Nathan Ellington on to replace the captain. Latka. Melchior did not want to do that. Ellington. Camera. Kanu. No flag. Ellington! The West Bromwich Albion substitute makes his mark instantly. Melchior put it straight up into the sky. West Brom battled. Kanu stayed on side to tee up Nathan Ellington. And that is a quite brilliant finish. He last scored at the end of November. But his 7th of the season for West Bromwich Albion has Brian Robson jumping around for joy and has his team level. Mario Melchior has to put that behind him quickly. In went Latka, won the ball cleanly. Lazaridis caught in possession. Here's Camera. Ellington in the centre. Camera wants to do it himself. Still might break for West Brom. Birmingham City in a real mess in their own penalty area. Lazaridis just opens up for him for a second. Great ball. Johnson. Perhaps we've seen why Damien Johnson doesn't get many goals. Wallwork. Ellington. He's going to have another go. Mike Taylor has somehow palmed it over the crossbar. As West Bromwich Albion fans were getting ready to celebrate a double from the Duke. Why not try your luck? Swerved this way and that, and nearly caught out Taylor. The keeper did enough, just. Watson, it was just flicked away from him by Heskey. Here's Wallwork. Taylor, wasn't sure. Ellington. Now Kozak. Took a big deflection. Corner. Could have been so much more for West Brom. Did Nathan Ellington panic a little here? Came to him quickly. Was a very, very tight angle. Kozak's corner. Ellington was in there. Up goes Wallwork and headed behind by Martin Latka. Albion not so much knocking on the Birmingham door, they're hammering away. Not long now until the two managers can share a glass of wine. Salivating at the prospect. Can Birmingham find the legs for one last burst downfield? Well, Heskey's lost the ball. Wallwork. The board's gone up. There'll be at least 4 more minutes of this. And there's a chance instantly for Nathan Ellington. Into injury time. Off the bar. Nathan Ellington got the goal that looks as though it's got West Brom a point. He could have had a hat-trick. He could have got them all 3 points. Taylor let it go over his head. Latka, not a time for errors at the back. Phil Dowd's had a long look at his left wrist. And another. And decides that that's it at St Andrews. If you can't win, then I guess you mustn't lose. The manager mates will share a bottle of wine and start talking again. And nothing changes at the bottom just yet. It's Birmingham City who remain in the bottom 3. Honours even after a pulsating derby duel. Birmingham City 1, West Bromwich Albion 1.
Brian, we managed to enjoy that, did you?
I enjoyed parts of the game because I thought we played some decent football today. Created some great chances, or should I say sitters.
Oh, make no mistake, if we're bemoaning our luck all season, then I think we've had it all today. Because simply we just defensively just didn't do our jobs and didn't give ourselves any platform in the game.
On another day, we should have scored 3 or 4 definite goals today. But you know, that's been our Achilles heel. We have been missing good chances. But the performance again from the lads was very good.
At this level, at any level, you can't defend like that and get away with it. And today we've defended like it and got away with it because we've got a point.
It's still very important to go into every game with 100% and effort, and make sure you get something out of each game, because the teams around you might get some and you might find yourself down there. So.
I think every Saturday is a cup final for us from now on. So there's still obviously around 10 games to go, so we still have the chance, to show what we are.
Well, Brian Robson and Albion were very unfortunate not to win. Let's hear Graham's assessment of the match.
Brian Robson's big tactic today was to use 5 men in midfield, and because of this, West Brom stopped Birmingham playing and created by far the best chances throughout the game. Having 5 players in the middle of the pitch allowed everybody, including defenders, in this case Robinson, to get close and make tackles. By winning the ball and closing down space, they forced Birmingham back towards their own goal. Positioned on the right of midfield, Demancia Kamara used his ability and pace to make the best West Brom chances in the first half. This is a fabulous run and pass. He then works hard to get into the box, but when Jonathan Greening presents this absolute gift, Kamara somehow misses the target. Birmingham occasionally showed touches of class, as you'd expect. Here Heskey sets up a great chance for Dunn, who very nearly converts. Birmingham have only fielded the same team twice this season, but with the likes of Forsell and Butt back from injury, they have the ability to create more openings. Unfortunately today, they were limited to half chances like this. With West Brom a goal down, Brian Robson had to change systems and play with 2 strikers, Carnu and Ellington. The impact was immediate. Ellington forces a mistake from Melchert. Kamara then passes the ball to Carnu, who then sets Ellington up for effectively his first touch of the game. And in injury time, he so easily could have won the game for West Brom. He takes his time to control, but then lacks the composure with the finish. Brian Robson must be frustrated with only a point, while Steve Bruce will certainly need all his players to remain fit for the rest of the season.
Steve Bruce really relieved. Mark, having seen both teams and the players they've got, is there a particular factor that you think will decide whether they stay up or not?
I'll tell you what, fear factor will come into it, certainly. But in fairness to West Brom, if they can play or try and mirror that performance today to the rest of the season, I think they'll be fine. But Steve Bruce will be absolutely delighted. They were mauled, Birmingham, and they've come away with a point. So he'll be using that as his tactic, saying, look, we were poor, but we got a point and we've got to build on it.
When Steve Bruce looks at his squad, will he be thinking next week, I need my sort of key players to really put in some really big performances from now on?
Well, I've said this at the beginning of the season. Steve Bruce must be in a terrible state when he comes off from a match, because he's invested in the squad, he's had the backing, he's brought in players, and some of them haven't delivered for him. And I think that's the important thing. They've had a lot of injuries. Some of those players haven't played together a lot. But you've got to get performances from the Heskeys, Melchot. They're experienced players. They've got to really hold themselves accountable for some of their level of performance.
Do you challenge them or do you coax them from now to the end of the season?
Well, no, they don't do it on purpose. It's just getting the right, you've got to get the right spirit within the team. You've got to get people that, are really dying for the cause and not making fundamental mistakes. And that's what they seem to be doing at the moment, making some pretty basic defensive mistakes.
Are you optimistic about Birmingham, Mark?
On that performance, no.
No. And Albion, but you think they'd be confident this weekend we're going to get enough?
Well, I don't, certainly on the, pro rata, on the performance, yes, certainly.
1 point from the last 24 was the form guide that pointed to Portsmouth failing to avoid relegation. Would hope spring from a home win